things are not going well for Vladimir Putin in Ukraine right now. Things are not going well in several places about his economy and other things right now. And I think Vladimir Putin is very happy right now to have the world staring at Greenland and not staring at his poor performance in Ukraine. I think Mr. Putin is very, very happy that there's a kerfuffle over Greenland right now.
We'll come on to that in a moment, yes.
Things are not going well for him in Ukraine right now. You have it right. They made a tiny advance in one area and they backed up significantly in two other areas. And some of Mr. Putin's claims are being played out as incorrect very publicly now in Ukraine. And so Mr. Putin very much, I think, wants eyes off of what's going on in Ukraine right now. And please, Philip, I don't want to take umbrage with you, but you talk about this war in terms of 5 years or 4 years or 3 years. This war's been going on for 12 years. It started when I was the SACEUR with the invasion and occupation of Crimea, then the invasion and occupation of portions of East Donbass, and then for almost 5 years on the line of contact where soldiers on both sides were dying. And then we come to this, what I call the third phase of the war, where Russia tried to invade and take over all of Ukraine and roundly got spanked and sent home in most cases. And now we're in this grinding attritional war, and Mr. Putin appears to have no idea of the loss of manpower. So lots of things going on there. Strategically, I just want to say one other thing. This whole business about Mr. Putin has once again said no. I repeat this all the time, but I want to say it one more time. Putin never has been a partner for peace in Ukraine. Putin is not now a partner for peace in Ukraine, and Putin will never in the future be a partner for peace in Ukraine. When world leaders finally come to understand and accept who and what Mr. Putin is, we might get on to some more serious business in Ukraine. Right now, every time there's a push on him, he dangles some sort of a bright, shiny object that distracts everybody, and we forget that he never has, is not now, nor will he ever in the future be a partner for peace in Ukraine.
So there's a couple of things come out of that before we get on to some of the bigger things that are happening around the world at the moment, if there is anything bigger than a major conflict in Europe. But the first one is the Ukrainians. A part of any peace deal is a security guarantee from, and underpinning that security guarantee, Europe is saying the United States needs to be part of it. But there was a security guarantee with the Budapest memorandum. And that had the United States underpinning it, had the United Kingdom underpinning it, it had Russia underpinning it. How can the Ukrainians ever trust anything that's on paper again?
Well, it's a great question. I don't know if they ever can. What the world has done by disarming and disadvantaging Ukraine through the Budapest memorandum, and now turning our back on the agreements we made in the Budapest memorandum. It's legend. It says a lot about what the world is and how fast we turn to accommodate our own needs so quickly. And so I think if I was Ukraine, I would be pushing really hard for concrete guarantees and public and world known and world accepted guarantees, so that those who enter into those guarantees would be a little bit more pressured to meet their obligations, unlike what we have done in relation to the Budapest memorandum.
Why do you think President Trump keeps blaming the Ukrainians when it's quite clear it's Vladimir Putin that is refusing any form of compromise?
Well, our U.S. president has a unique way of trying to negotiate. I'm sure we're going to talk about that in a few minutes.
Yes.
And part of his negotiation is he's rather insensitive to who's right and who's wrong. He's just trying to force all parties to an agreement. The whole world, even the BRICS countries, know, that Putin is still a KGB agent. He is a self confessed war criminal, as he has rewarded his minister who runs the program for snatching Ukrainian children out of their families and taking them back to Russia. We know who we're dealing with, but we want to put that sort of in a box so that we can continue these negotiations around him. I don't necessarily argue with that. We need to keep talking. We need to find a way forward with Mr. Putin. But every time we do, we need to understand who Mr. Putin is. Okay? He's a war criminal running an illegal, immoral, and inhumane war. And we need to make sure we measure everything we do with, for, and about him with those facts first in evidence.
What do you think Vladimir Putin's making of everything that's going on?
Well, as we said at the top of the show, things are not going well for Vladimir Putin in Ukraine right now. Things are not going well in several places about his economy and other things right now. And I think Vladimir Putin is very happy right now to have the world staring at Greenland and not staring at his poor performance in Ukraine. And I think we need to remember what we said at the top of the show. Every time we think about Mr. Putin, we need to remember KGB, war criminal. And anything we do with him needs to be in the context of who that human being is. And then certainly we need to continue talking to him, because just stopping talking to him is not an answer. But we need to remember every time we deal with him who he is. He never has been a partner for peace in Ukraine. He is not now a partner for peace in Ukraine, and he never will be in the future a partner for peace in Ukraine.
So, as we come to the end of our chat here, where do you see the next couple of months going? Dare I say next couple of months or next couple of days? Where do you see the next couple of months going?
Well, here's what I'm a man of faith, and here's what I'm praying for. We have a clear way ahead in cooperation. If this is truly about security, we can solve all our security concerns via cooperation. And so I think what we need to keep our eyes on is how all the other things about Greenland play out. And those, again, I'm not really qualified to talk to.
And with Ukraine?
With Ukraine, I am encouraged. I'm more than a glass half full now about what Europe is beginning to do with Ukraine, and the backbone is getting stiffer about Ukraine. And if Ukraine can survive, Russia will fall. They are moving forward now because they're still convinced that senior Western leaders are going to give them what they cannot take in Ukraine. Do we need to say that again? They are convinced that senior Western leaders are going to give them what they cannot take in Ukraine. And so Ukraine needs to survive. If Ukraine survives, this will all work itself out.
Well, I think on that note, because that's a positive note out of everything that's going on at the moment, General Philip Breedlove, it's been a real pleasure talking to you today on Frontline.
Thank you. Good to see you again.